What is the unspoken, universal rule all males know? When you reach a certain age, you must groan when either sitting or standing up, even if there is absolutely no pain whatsoever. I'm 25 and my girlfriend asked me why I always make old man noises whenever I stand up or sit down. I legitimately didn't know what to tell her. They just started coming out, naturally at some point. I tried to stop myself, but it's almost like an involuntary reflex at this point. LOL, I'm a painter and started doing it in my early 30s. A customer once asked if I was alright. I laughed because I really didn't know what to say. When leaving, you must smack your pockets to make sure everything is there. Triple pat. Phone, keys, wallet. The nod. Yes. Downwards if you're not that close, upwards if you are. One time I was sleep deprived and grocery shopping, eyes randomly locked with some dude I didn't know as I was scanning for open registers. He was just hanging out in line, and for some reason my brain wires got crossed and we guy nodded, but I accidentally nodded up instead of down, and I looked away, but he did a double take. It was a disaster. He spent the next few minutes looking back and squinting at me, trying to understand why he didn't recognize me, and clearly trying to decide if he should say something. That was 8 years ago and I still haven't recovered from the experience. I've been going to the gym for a year now, and there are about 5 other guys I see every day there. We've never spoken a word, but we all nod and acknowledging each other when one of us walks in. I'd consider them my gym friends. When there's a choice between urinals, use the one that minimizes the chances of neighboring another occupied urinal. I had an old man walk up to the urinal next to me, when all of the other urinals were available, and tell me, "Don't worry, I won't piss on you," before unleashing the most aggressive piss I've ever heard in my life. I still think about it sometimes. If a hood on a car is open, you must stand in a circle around it, similar to grills at an event. Whenever I had car issues, I'd always pop open the hood and walk over to inspect it. First thing I'd do was look to see if my inginga was still there. If in fact my inginga was still there, I'd look around, puzzled as to what else could be causing issues to my car. After about 5 minutes of jiggling random things, then checking to see if my car was back to normal, I'd go on to my next step, which was to call my mechanic and pay him lots of monies to fix my car. But never before first opening up my hood to inspect it for any missing engines. No, dude. After you jiggle each thing, you have to try to start it again, 'cause you never know. And before you call that mechanic, have your buds come over and jiggle shit too. One of you will eventually jiggle it back into start mode. Never underestimate the power of a good jiggle. Yes, I was at a meet over the weekend, and someone with the same car as me had a couple of questions. They lifted the hood, and within 30 seconds a crowd of men had gathered around. Never mind, the car was mostly stock under there. Everyone had to gather. You must stand by your bro while he's grilling, and make comments about the level of awesome it's going to be. I did this Sunday night. Literally for an hour and a half nothing but, "Damn, that smells good," and, "This shit's gonna be fire." It was pretty good. I ate 1 plate. We must feel the pain of our fellow men who we see being hit in the balls. Once in the dorms, someone told us a balls getting whacked story, and all the guys clenched up and went, "Ah," a girl said. "That's so funny the way guys do that." Another time a guy asked, "I wonder what hurts more, when a girl gets bad cramps or when a guy gets whacked in the nuts?" The girls said, "You have no idea how much it hurts." And guys replied, "Well, you have no idea how much it hurts." If a friend buys you a drink, you don't pay it back, you just buy the next round. Likewise, if a bartender is being a bro, you tip well. Damn well. Free drinks should never be free. You were going to pay anyway, do so still. Insist, even. Tip the value of, or close to the value of the drink if you get a free drink. That's more than acceptable. You must let out a sigh of satisfaction when sitting down on a lawn chair. Anytime you're strapped down a load, you must slap it and say, "That ain't going nowhere, trust me, just do it." Same with clapping the tongs together a few times before using them on the grill. And you must squeeze the drill trigger at least twice after putting on a new battery. Otherwise the dad gods will cause your project to fail. One squeeze fast, to show the power the drill possesses. The second slow, to show that you have control over this mighty tool. One shall slap the bag of soil in the garden center when passing by. I pretty much do this to any bagged product. Dog food, landscaping rock, no bagged product is safe. Sometimes I get mixed up when I do this and accidentally say, "That ain't going nowhere." When watching TV hanging by the fire etc. with the guys, if you get up to get a beer, always consult the room if anyone else requires a beverage before leaving. You can shake and you can dance, but the last drops always end up in your pants. You can take a minute to milk her, but then you risk someone walking in and you becoming the guy rubbing it out at the urinal. Never turn your homie into a clown, just to make a girl laugh. That just sucks. Protect your junk at all costs. There's a reason why cowboys wear jeans in the desert. Yet to protect against insects and animal bites, ticks, sticks, kicked up rubble, rocks, cactuses, etc. Borrow a car, bring it back with more gas than you started with. Only the driver can modify anything on the dashboard from the car, unless that driver has verbally designated the co-pilot to certain duties. Don't point out the flaws on someone else's car. Yes, I'm totally goddamn aware my 52-year-old project car needs a paint job. This goes for everything, car, house, whatever. I don't need you to point out that it could be better different. When she tells you she's not hungry for whatever you're ordering, order more, 'cause she'll definitely be eating your stuff. After communication with my wife, I have come to the conclusion that the estimate is based on current hunger. It does not take into account future hunger. Do with that information as you will. If a woman you don't know approaches you and acts like an old friend, play along. When I was 20, I was getting off the tube in London and got a really eerie sense about a guy. I was certain he was following me, but we were both exiting the station, so maybe I was being paranoid. It was late, around 11 p.m. The exit was long with a couple of corners. The faster I walk, the faster he walks. I end up making a run for it at the top of the escalator. There are two dudes hanging around outside. I just launch myself at them. I grab one guy around the waist and loudly say, "Sorry I'm late, babe." He immediately plays along. "What took you so long? We've been waiting ages?" The stalker guy stops and glares at the three of us. He looks furious but walks away. My pretend boyfriend also sensed evil. He was scared for me. Him and his mate walked with me and waited with me until I got a taxi. A week later, a woman was followed from that station late at night, dragged into a front garden, raped and viciously assaulted. We need pretend boyfriends. When a friend asks for help, you help them. And your best bro's good woman is an extension of your best bro. Story time. My best bro left for work early as fuck in the AM. 12-hour shift at a hospital. His girl left the apartment a few hours later for her 12-hour shift. This was my day off. Sleeping late. I hear her leave, then legit 5 minutes later my phone goes off. It's her. Crying. She hit a curb around the corner, and the tire is blown. She has to get to work. She's a nurse too. Without thought, I get up, hop in the car and go see about her. Her car is fucked. Grab everything you need for work. Let's go. I race her to the hospital and she makes it in on time. I have her keys. I head back to her car, swap the spare on, take wheel and blown tire to the tire shop and have a new tire put on. Go back to her car, swap spare off for the new tire. Call my, now ex-girlfriend to come follow me to the hospital so I can drop her car off and leave her keys under the floor mat. She has her car now when she gets off late that night. She's his wife now. Anything I do for my best friend, I'd do for her too. Not taking the last beer when you didn't pay for it. My beer is your beer, unless it's my last one. Any object carried by another male is immediately assessed for its weapon capacity. Whenever your husband tries to buy something you could make but never will, always tell him to not buy it because you can make that same thing at home way cheaper. If you're bald and I'm bald, we're automatically bald brothers. Don't speak to me if I'm using the restroom. Zippers are not your friend. Use them slowly and carefully, or you will regret every decision that brought you to this place in life. If there is bad weather brewing outside, you must stand on the porch and say something along the lines of, "Well, the rain's coming, I can feel it." For some reason, when there's a single bathroom and one of us tries the handle to find it occupied, the guy leaving always feels it's necessary to ceremonially hand control over to the new guy. Me included. "Hey man, it's all yours." The guy in the garage with the door open is the bat signal for fellow men to come over. If you find an abandoned child, keep it at a safe distance until another party arrives. Do not attempt to transport said child to the police hospital, and do not attempt to physically comfort the child. Once a second party, preferably female, is present, you may proceed to unlock your inner dad. If one breaks into a falsetto rendition of some mildly outdated song, all must break into falsetto and join. This happens in our office. Repeatedly. If the remote control stops working, either slap it on your leg or open the back and roll the batteries a few times. Congratulatory or encouraging slap on the butt is fine if it is on the sports field or court. It is completely frowned upon at all other times and will lead to merciless mocking. When performing said butt slap, keep the palm flat, never cup your hand, and make the briefest possible contact with the targeted butt cheek. This entire thread makes me love men so much more. Y'all are adorable. What is an universal rule all males know? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.